Yeah, we're looking good. I just got to let it hook up to the different
okay.
The different platforms. Right on. Yeah, I'll be glad to help you doing it. In fact, probably some of the stuff I'll be doing, working with your stuff might work. But as far as the marketing stuff goes, I got all the scar tissue. There's no sense in you having to go through all that.
Oh, yeah, I run that logic every day. Like, geez,
Mhm.
someone who absolutely loves to do what I'm sitting here struggling to do, and I'd love to talk to that person.
yeah. I'll be glad to, man. I mean, it's I know the ways around it. You know, as far as the tech stuff, and then the financial part of it. What to pay. You really don't have to pay for anything as far as the marketing goes. You just have to be diligent and consistent in putting the stuff out there, and kind of smart so you don't get whacked. Okay, so we're live with my beautiful, beloved brother, Lavelle Zimmerman. There's still people coming in. Instead of opening up with our normal intro, we're going to open up with a really cool tune. Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle, Lavelle Zimmerman, and a few other very cool people, Amara, Corey. But I just want to point out that their music has been inspiring me since 2014, because this is back when I didn't have internet. And I was like making videos, and then I'd go up to the grocery store and they had 1G, and I'd sit there for 2 hours and load it up. But a friend came in town and I didn't have internet, and I didn't have any music.
Yeah.
And so they said, "Hey, here's a CD, or here's a flash drive," and I'm listening to, like, I think it was like 19 songs. It was Skywalker. It was that phase of
yeah.
I didn't know who you were. Well, I knew who you were, but I didn't know it was you. I'm like, who's this dude, man? I even made a couple of videos with that in the background. I'd have to go back and find them, but yeah. So anyway, so Lavelle Zimmerman. And we're going to have a great hour. For the next hour, we're going to open up this. Anyway, the reason when I was bringing it up about the music is because if you listen to the music, it's jazzy, it's hip hoppy. The lyrics are fantastic. Lavelle writes them all, and but the message, if you listen to the message, it's galactic, it's angelic, it's about the ascension path, it's about growth. So we're going to give people a little bit more time to come in, and we're going to play this tune. We'll be right back.
Brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? They got the MJ. I use a tag joint, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it for free. It's nothing. Thank you, MJ. It's nothing. Yeah. Y'all know it's paper, you know what I'm saying?
MJ Nichols.
Yeah. 1, 2, we come through. 4, 5, my crew out. 7, 8, big ways. 6, 9, it's about time to get it in, kid. Word up, yo. Hang 10. Yeah. 1, 2, we come through. 4, 5, my crew out. 7, 8, big ways. 6, 9, it's about time. They get it in, kid. Word up, hang 10. Yeah. Hey, yo.
Purchase your tracks.
But it's all, we did it hard. Paradox, young Goldilocks. Ride the key, open up the block. Ice cream truck, here play the song. Watch the kids run. Love. Yeah. Archangel, man, that blue flame. Got a thing for this maintain. Forever changing. Spirit riding, they know how to be outside with them birds flying. Responsible for the balance, man. 13's a new stream. Blood moon is cool beans. Hold it down, that's one team. Yeah, keep it tight, stay showing up. Just holding truth. Yeah, show you right, get a real deal. My holy skills, your shadow sparring will hold you feel. Release the grease like foam and grill. Hang 10, Audi 5G. Surge up when we get down. This wetsuit, straight crystalline. Space cool up at school. No need to teach, just more releasing. Yo, forever be
MJ Nichols.
Yo, 1, 2, we come through. 4, 5, my crew out. 7, 8, them big ways. 6, 9, it's about time to get it in, kid. Word up, yo, hang 10. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yo, 1, through. 4-5, my crew live. 7-8, the big waves. 3-6-9, it's about time. Get it in, kid. Word up, yo. Hang 10. Yo, dope paths on stellar crafts. In the trench type, pop chem lights. Ash tar, we run fleet. Been about flight, MOP. Some too hype, straight amplified. Got 2 mics. Yeah. Yo, stereo, Jamario, Geronimo, stay funky, bro. Jamiroquai ain't bout to be, cause I did it free. Did it in, can't be stopped. This bubblegum gon' go pop. Pop. Yeah. Yo. Little booty spit so bananas. Change the flavor, my Joe Bazooka. Roll the rooter, gon' get dirty. Finish late and I'm up early. Work ethic from the future. Nick Fly gon' work the magic. Invoking dope on your speakers. Ancient texts in these lyrics. This spirit man, that moon planet. That ego mind kid can't stand it. Do the dance when I hop dimensions. Yeah, Lord, we hop dimensions, bro. For real though, big up. 1, 2, we come through. 4-5, my crew live. 7-8, them big waves. 3-6-9, it's about time. Yo, get it in, kid. Yo, hang 10. Yo, 1, 2, we come through. 4-5, my crew live. 7-8, them big waves. 3-6-9, it's about time. Get it in, kid. Word up, yo, hang 10. Yeah, yo.
Purchase your tracks today.
MJ Nichols, you know what I'm saying? What up, baby? Thank you for your service, brother. Thank you. Yeah. You got no paper, you got to get in, right? You got to get the G. Yes, sir. Come on, daddy. To the golden age.
Somebody said, "Hi guys, I have a load of light came through listening to this." I feature Lavelle and Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle on the Soulogy New Earth remix that we do. I try to do every day, that's what I've always gotten from their music, and I don't know, man, I love it. It's very original.
Absolutely, big time.
The years ago, just so many people have come on to this platform that may not know a lot of the early history, but I spent a couple of years on the streets. I came off the streets. I got a laptop, and I started to more actively contribute to the Soulogy group. This is a time when there was like 800 people. There's now like 95,000. So this is like way back, and so Lavelle started to contribute to the Soulogy group, his daily stuff, and so it went from there. I met Morgan; she was familiar with him, so this would be another 2-3 years down the road. Mm-hmm. And one of the things about your stuff was that not only are you putting out like just gargantuan volume of original recordings, which I think is well over 1,000, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah. And in an atypical way, not commercializing it, not that there's anything wrong with it, but just feeding the energy, the new energy, and being the new energy, but also the daily observations and sharings that you had. And I've always felt that you have been one of the most consistent people. We all show our ass from time to time, I have, but because you have these downloads and these all this stuff come in, and the energy comes in, and it makes you kind of a little self-conscious at times, and you see people, and I do it, and whatever, but you've always been very consistent. You never look back. You're very, very convicted in what you have to say, who you are, what you're a part of. And your message is, both inspirational, enlightening, expanding, but it also carries a very powerful integration of the galactic and the galactic and the angelic and divine essences. It's just a universal party. And so first of all, I just want to thank you for your
great adjective.
Yeah, I want to thank you for your service to humanity, and for getting out there and like the rabbit, like the rabbit when the race starts, the one that dogs are chasing, and really just getting out there and making it happen because you've really you've really connected with a lot of people, and in what we would term prior an unconventional way, and in a way where a lot of people, as we know, you get ridiculed for doing the kind of stuff that you've done. So big props to you.
Absolutely. Big props to us all. Come on, it takes courage to take the lead. Leaders go first. We're here to set an example, and through opening our heart and loving ourselves, we'll allow this energy to burst forth and expand and show our brothers and sisters the true nature of the deeper aspect of self within. So once again, truly humbled. And with that being said, that humbleness does not come unapologetically. So it's a beautiful thing to be alive here on earth right now.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many topics and on the table and energies in the air, and this is another thing that I admire about you because especially given the events of course of 2020, but and as it headed to the end of 2020. The election and the all the stuff behind that, which we could talk for hours about. But what I was getting at is you're not afraid of any subject. You speak from a balanced, again, with a lot of conviction, and confidence about anything. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Of course, on the heels of this conversation with David Icke and some of the shows we've had since then, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of energies out there. There's a lot of movement. And I just wanted to start with like, where do you hold the global, the global things that are happening? Where do you hold them in your perspective as you move through this ascension on an individual basis, which I know for you has had some really powerful, things occurring both in your physical body, obviously emotional for all of us, the mental, and of course the spiritual path and the connectivity to infinite intelligence and our teams. Where does that stand in your perspective, from your space as you look at allegations of fraudulent elections and QAnon and Trump and Biden and this and that and China and all, COVID. I mean, how do you look at that? How do you hold that in your space or not hold it in your space?
I hold it all. I hold all of it, and recognizing I am viewing but a reflection of everything that's taking place within my own heart space. That everything is an absolute reflection, and the modus operandi of love itself, or of love itself is infinitely intelligent. The aspects of the collective experience are to be viewed by the individual, not only objectively, because once again, we're here, we're alive to feel, we're experiencing our own design. The purpose of the design of self-realization is to actually witness and partake in the play of one's own unfoldment, right? And all of these experiences, they're dynamic, and there's a lot of this polarity going on, and it's easy for an individual with a mind identity to choose sides. It's just that there's that there's that coin term that goes in the world but not of the world. And as a light being, as a conscious being, aware of the entirety of everything that's taking place, there's a paradox to being here. And consciously being here, not just necessarily being here, but consciously being here. There's a paradox that we must take account of. And that's that, yes, we have our own individual configuration and things that are taking place within our own reality that we design as catalysts of our own individual healing, right? But once again, everything that's outside of that is also connected. It's also an aspect of the journey.
Yeah.
I just wrote the other day, everybody's doing their job.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing their particular job based on the nature of the experience that you're observing, right?
Yeah.
So in being objective and observing the whole, yes, there's an unfoldment. There's a practical aspect of liberation that will take place. It doesn't go from night to day. You close your eyes and open your eyes and things are there. There's a practical aspect of the awakening. And of course, that practical aspect has a sacred encoded meaning in the methodology in which it will take place. It's just that brothers and sisters, reflections of self on any given frequency band, they're all taking part in these revelations, this unfoldment. But once again, the source of the experience of the unfoldment, of course, is within the individual. We are responsible for the things that we're viewing. It's just that the things that we're viewing is all based on where we are based within our frequency of being, the reality that we exist in. As we elevate our frequency and choose a particular polarity, service to self or service to others, the characters within the hologram that we observe will do their part in us realizing and observing or seeing the crystallization of the reality that we've accepted within.
Right on.
That's
Right.
going to take place. Now, here's where that stands. And just to kind of unpack all of that, I just unpack that for the specific reasons of methodology. Is that when we pack it all up and look at it practically, observe and allow, accept unconditionally everything that's taking place, because that's exactly how it's supposed to take place. That's how it's supposed to work. Beyond judgment, beyond ridicule, beyond contempt, beyond choosing sides. This is a space of unconditional acceptance. It's just that that's the that's the test of graduation and moving to that next level, is the ability to observe beyond projection, beyond the labels of the ego mind and boxing and holding content and projecting judgments and calling out the good guys and bad guys. It's like, well, no, this is life. This is what's supposed to happen. Infinite intelligence is before me. There's only intelligence. There's no accidents. There's no coincidences, and everything that's happening is supposed to happen. My work is in accepting myself more, recognizing myself more, refining myself more, and doing the work that I'm here to do based on what brings excitement to me. I have a portion of this. Whatever I enjoy, the people that come across my path, this is the part that I'm playing in the movie. It's just that I'm in the starring role from this perspective. It's just that everybody's doing their job.
Right on. Yeah, right on.
The internal acceptance, we can accept that and observe it and allow it to take place without, once again, having to choose sides or join a clique or be pro this or pro that. It's like, no, this is life, and the truth needs no defense. The sun needs no promotion.
Yeah.
It will work.
Yeah, the sun is the sun. I love this explanation you give, because it reminds me of the, the saying, stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
But to me, it takes it to a different level, because it's like stay in your own lane and shine. Like if you're not.
Exactly. Yo, that's it. I need that. That's how I
exactly.
love that.
And this is another thing I love about, like I was telling you before the show, I don't get a chance to like surf like in the old days and surf and search and, but I do, obviously I'm led to see certain things. And one of the first things that usually happens when I jump online in the morning, you pull up the news feed and the first thing you see is My Story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you usually have a few things on there, and I love it because you're staying in your own lane. It's the energy of staying in your own lane and shining, because it's everything from you in the car, just with a quick rap, to some nice memes and some profound things to look at and ponder, and then the cooking, man. You know, walking around, I feel like I'm in your house.
Oh yeah,
Walking around your house, and there it is behind you, everybody.
yeah.
Everything is conscious. Like everything in your house is conscious. It's coordinated. The way you dress, the wall behind you, when you cook, you know. I mean, I love to cook, and I'm a big believer that, cooking, you infuse. It's like art, right? And so even when you're like cooking and you're chopping stuff up, and here's what we got going today. I got some of this, I got some of that, and royalty cleans up behind themselves. So we're going to go ahead and get this taken care of. But everything is a conscious construct of an ever, unfoldment of what you're infusing into the collective hologram, basically. So to me, when I watch that stuff in the morning, it is exactly what you're saying. I'm in my own lane and I'm going to shine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Almost says like gratitude in motion when
Yeah.
you're conscientious of being alive and what the depth of the gift. Everything is vibrant. Everything becomes beautiful, and there is a deeper respect from even the most minuscule things that we partake in each and every day. So, and once again, it's a pleasure. It's such a great honor to be alive for all of us, and to be it's crazy.
It is, man. I mean, that's one thing too that's been obvious. I mean, obviously, and I'm not really charged by viruses and quarantines and masks and all the stuff that's out there. But obviously, those things are getting louder and louder and louder. But one thing that seems to be pretty evident is that everything's paralleling that. So for every degree of distortion and potential distraction, there's these higher degrees of telepathy and intuition and magic and the miraculous. And at the core of it, I keep going back to examples like yourself, which is what I was talking about in your sharings, which is, hey, this is me and me is you. And
Absolutely.
let me show you what you are, and it's in the small things. It's
Even
not the
small
big things. It's not the overproductions. It's the spontaneous and creative, and that's what comes through. And to me, that's the real virus.
And we all need to catch a little dose of that.
Right on.
Magic is.
I know that you've had a very strong connection because I know your story, and of course, it comes out in the things that you put out, the expressions. But you had, like so many of us, a wake up experience, a period of indoctrination and assimilation, and then you start, you come out of it. I met you after, but I remember talking to you before. My question is, for you, has there been a noticeable clarity or increase in the level and understanding of this connection over the last few weeks or couple months? I mean, was there a ramp up? Has there been a ramp up for you? Have you had more clarity, more connection, in your journey the last few weeks?
Absolutely. I could say that without a shadow of a doubt. The conscious connections and presence around me it's a little it's a little uncomfortable at first, or at least for me. It's gradual, but it's continual. It's just that the presence, I could sense a deeper and wider presence around me in all that I do. My meditations are like nothing I've ever experienced before. I automatically sense an intimidating vastness around me when I go to silence myself. I used to be, once again, I say it all the time, I used to be scared of meditating. Now, with these new energies and revelations and continuous creativity, more and more clarity is coming into place where things are starting to solidify themselves in my consciousness. It's just that one of the things that I'm continuously reminded of is that it's only necessary to accept the moment and recognize I know what I know now for a specific purpose. And all of the things that I embrace and accept about the moment are allowing more of an awareness to place itself within the consciousness, right? If you get me, it's just more so about being present. And I continue to receive downloads. It's just that the downloads don't, the visual aspects of and the intellectual aspect of the downloads don't solidify themselves until things start to unfold for me, so I see them in real time.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like they come in faster, they're bigger, and you know, I don't even try to figure out what the hell they're saying anymore. I'm just like, I get what you're saying, because you're good. You know, the message is like, you're gonna, when you need it, it's there. Basically.
Well, definitely. I just watched, well, I didn't watch, but I was reminded, I saw a vision of Neo in the Matrix when he kind of ran up on a helicopter and he didn't know how to fly a helicopter and he had to holler at Morpheus. And then Morpheus was like, all right, cool, you got it now. And then he was able to get in the seat and go. It's just that I spoke of this a couple of days ago as well. You can't receive more with your hands full. Like, you have to allow things to come in and let them go. Every day, come to school. Every day, receive. Use them for what you need them for, and let them go, because we're going to continue to be filled. It's just that we have to keep the glass half empty, so we can continue to receive more, and things activate and solidify themselves on a grander scale when we move to a higher plane of self-awareness, because then we can house, or at least we can facilitate that type of awareness within our field, because once again, we're continuing to receive and be placed in situations each and every day that are brand new, and we'll receive the information necessary to take care of that's in front of us. But we need to let that go, because there's more experiences. There's more experiences, more awareness that needs to be placed.
Yeah, it's like you can't take anything with you, but you take it with you. You know, it's like you let go of the control and you're in control, but it's not like
intuitive, heavy.
Right? It's not like what am I trying to say? Like a cognitive type of process. It's not a human only thing.
No,
it's like,
no.
You know, but you don't know. So if you don't know, you know, or if you got it, but you got to let it go. You'll still have it, but it doesn't feel like it.
Absolutely.
You know, another thing that's been in the field in these communities, you know, since I got involved, like in 2012, has been the dark agenda. You know, and of course, you know, we can quibble over degrees of what is evil, what is this, what is that. When we're talking about, let's just talk about it from, let's say, a spirit scientific way. A charge is negative, a charge is positive. I loved what David Icke said the other day when he said, people don't understand, knowledge is not negative or positive. It's just information.
Absolutely.
To your experience. But we're working our way through this. So there's a level of the human wants to comprehend, and the human wants to, you know, put this box here, and we were, of course, working our way out of it. But in terms of that reality, because it has been a part of our reality, we all know that. But we also know that we're in some type of conversion or transformation. And where my question's going is, you know, we know that this universal energy that's been making itself more and more known, and in permeating into our fields on an individual level, has got to be affecting what we would call the controllers or the cabal or the negative agenda, or whatever the case may be. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, are you seeing any signs, real signs of a deconstruction of that type of dualistic, energy? Are you seeing that it's being equalized, because of the universal energies and everything that we're going through?
Absolutely. In so many ways. Here's the thing about I just spoke about this too. Here's the thing about self-realization, and self-realization on such a grand scale within this construct that we've been dealing with as far as humans, 13,000 years of enslavement, the limitations and expectations, the mind construct and all of its preconceived notions. These have been solidified in the mind identity for such a long time that it requires a almost surgical level of reverse engineering.
Right.
Now, I'm using surgical as a metaphor for it being delicate.
Right.
And this also has everything to do with the density and intensity of the experience here on planet Earth, and awakening and giving birth to a Christ consciousness raised in the physical, in this spectrum of existence. What has to happen, or at least the theme of the third dimension, remains the choice. We've expressed this before. The choice is love or fear. That's where we're moving into the fourth dimensional field, or at least as a collective consciousness moving into the fourth dimensional field, to be able to experience and operate and receive some of the glory that involves that reality. Now, being that the choice is the theme of this experience, one of the things about unconditional love is that the choice must be made internal first. And I say this over and over and again: inside, then outside. Inside, then outside. Being that the spectrum of the 3D to 4D to 5D is on such a grand scale, is such a flip, like an extreme opening to so much abundance and communication and interconnectedness as a species. Being that you have such a paramount shift in choice that is being made on a collective level based in the individual. Of course, I'm not saying that we're dependent on anybody for this, but the individual experience their own frequency based on the choices that they make. Now, as a collective consciousness planet, as a globe, choice has to be made and solidified internally first before the external appearance of that particular reality. Now, it's been gradual over time, and all of these things are taking place. It's just that there's things building up behind the scenes that will have somewhat of a switch type of mechanism when we've reached that particular level or frequency of being internally. All the things are being set up for that decision, or for us to make that leap individually. It's just that once that's made, these things will start to reveal themselves. It's just that the functionality and the things that we expect and we've been aware of for such a long time that's supposed to happen, and the waiting process and all, like all of those things are being set up. It's just that when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
You've had experiences in your life before where you tried and invested so much effort in seeing this one thing or these few things take place, and you've given all this energy and you kept giving. And the moment that you decided to take a step back and let go of the effort, it just came out of nowhere. And it just came from all over the place. And you're wondering, like, after all this time, where have you guys been? Where has all this stuff been? I've been giving this stuff energy for such a long time. And now the moment I stop, waiting and stop focusing externally on things to take place, so that mechanism to unfold, it just happened.
Yeah.
It's just that level of spiritual maturity and patience and presence and self-awareness and non-dependency is necessary before that switch will click.
Yeah.
And that's the trick. You have to, once again, inside, making that choice internally and truly allowing it, and like taking away the expectation from that choice, is where things will happen. They say usually success happens 2 or 3 steps after you want to quit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that extra 2 or 3 steps after you've already given up and you stop caring, and I've been talking about this all this time and blah blah blah. You're all beat down, and we've lost all hope, and our morality is drained, and we start to get all cynical, and it's like, oh, that's conspiracy stuff. I heard that. I've been waiting for 10 years, 20 years, and I read that in the 80s, and once again, this is all demoralization. Once again, in order to evolve and reach that level of responsibility as a leader, come on, you have to have the confidence in yourself. Because once again, the confidence that you have in yourself is equivalent to the confidence that you have in God. The confidence that you have in yourself is equivalent to the confidence that you have in God.
That's right.
So the moment that you start to not have confidence in your own convictions and your own intuition, you're doubting the nature of the divine. And of course, as a leader, to be a leader and guardian of the new earth, you can't have that. You can't have that lack of confidence. You have to trust yourself. It could take 1,000 years. You have to trust yourself. Your conviction has to be that deep. So know that the entirety of this experience is a catalyst of your confidence, your courage, your strength, your conviction, your knowing. That is what this is, and that's what's necessary to graduate to the next level of existence, to graduate as a Christed conscious being in the physical. You need that type of tenacity. You require this to move to the next level. So this is where the moment is so important. This is why everything in my experience is so vibrant, because I live in heaven. I live in heaven on earth now.
I remember you told me, we've probably done 12 shows together, but way back, you told me this is a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And it always stuck with me. I thought, and that's what I was saying earlier. You look at your room, look at the way you dress, look at the way you express yourself, be you cooking or doing some music. It's one of the other things that I've always resonated with in your message is you make no bones about it. There are no followers. We're leaders. And what you just said, which is very inspirational, own it. Like you refer to everyone as the divine, just that's I don't want to say that's not normal, but I remember you referring to me that way when I first met you, and I'm just peeking out of the curtain, like looking around like that, and this brother says to me, "Hello, divine," and I'm like, "Whoa, am I divine?" But the leader thing, I think is and really what you're saying too is that you're responsible for everything that's happening here. So be the leader and infuse it with the God substance that you are, which is
definitely
accept
the training. When you're bothered, when you find yourself outside of your equilibrium, know that these are catalysts of your grooming. You're being groomed to have a sense of presence and confidence that knows that life works. And all of this is infinite intelligence doing what's necessary in order for me to realize a deeper sense of presence within myself. Why am I being impatient? Why am I awaiting things and have these expectations? Why are all these things bothering me so much? I'm being bothered. And once again, this me being bothered is basically revealing kinks in my armor and things that I need to give energy to in order to heal and to accept the moment and know that all of this has everything. All of this has a vital role in me recognizing my glory. All of this is exactly what I'm supposed to experience. And yes, it's taken a long time, and I'm being impatient, and all of the it's just all this stuff that's getting on my nerves and the details. Like, oh my God, I'm being bothered. And it's like, well, you know yourself and you know what irritates you the most. So this is why your life is like that. You know what bothers you. So life is going to give it to you like you know it. So you can look at it and you can observe it. You can analyze it, reflect on it, and say, you know what? I'm being a baby right now. Let me go ahead and reflect on my stuff and return to the present. I'm here to do work. I'm here to enjoy myself. I'm here to live. Yeah, nurture myself, be gentle with myself. I'll forgive myself, get up tomorrow morning. It's a brand new day. Let's do something productive. Because again, I'm here on a mission. And that the mission is integrated in the story that I created for myself. There are no accidents, there are no coincidences, there are no errors. Everything is exactly how it's supposed to, exactly how I designed it. And once again, on the other end of this is where I will not recognize how beautiful I am. Yeah. I will not recognize how beautiful I am. Oh my God.
Yeah. The funny thing was, yeah, you're right. There's no coincidences. Like so let me pull this thread back in. So this morning I get up to do the first show. I got a message from a beloved sister that was a very, actually it was a message of, can I do anything to help you?
There we go.
But the message triggered the hell out of me. It felt like, I was telling Morgan, it felt like, I don't know, maybe a handful of times over the last few years, you get that memory kicks in of that trauma or some core wound, and it went into my solar, and it just went, and I was like, what the heck? You know, why? And it was all about self-worth, self-neglect, compromising, accepting less. It wasn't about lack, but it was about, why do you treat yourself this way, divine? You know, to use your terminology. Why not, reach for the gold? Oh, well, because the mind kicked in and said that's going to cost some money. No, just reach for the gold. So there was this, but the crazy thing about it was that it was throwing the ball on me basically and saying, this is ain't nobody holding you back.
Yeah.
This is just simply, but to your point, that uncomfortableness was really loud, and it's been whispering and tapping me, and then it went boom, like, okay, you get this now? And I'm like, yeah, I get this. Yeah, I'm getting this. So yeah, and I love that, because that's it. Somebody just put, with power comes responsibility.
Great responsibility. Yeah. And again, this is leadership training. Yeah. Leaders are brilliant. Leaders are known for being able to solve problems. Yeah. This is what a lead. That's almost the definition of leadership: being able to solve problems, to accept the situation and stay cool. And once again, it's not even necessarily that we have this. We have to reverse engineer everything. It's just about us being confident enough and poised enough to observe and be in the moment and know that everything I need is being presented when it's necessary. Yeah. Being present and knowing that this will self out. I just need to be open to my resources, to my experience, to my creation, and guide the resources as necessary when they present themselves.
Yeah.
But
go ahead. Go ahead. No, I was going to say that I laugh at myself, and today was a good example, because I often have to remind myself, you got here listening to that still silent voice, right? That still small voice, the guidance, right, from the team and all that, and you did, and I'm speaking for everybody here, because we all did it,
Absolutely.
We all made wholesale changes. We all left relationships, left jobs, left cities, countries, belief systems, and went against the grain. So now here we are, we're in 2021, and you might have a download like I had today, or an experience like I had, the activation or whatever, stimulation, whatever it was. And I laugh at myself, because what happens is I go into the old. Like the problem solving goes into, what did I do when I was a business executive, or what did I, and then I laugh, because I'm like, wait a minute, why would you go back into that irrational pool of potential, and why not stay with the crazy guidance that got you here in the first place and brought us all together? But I also see in myself and in the community, in the energetic field, I see people making that leap. Stay in the course, stay in that space, stay in this magical space that doesn't always feel magical, but don't go into the irrational behaviors and patterns and old templates, because we already know what that leads to, you know.
Definitely, we recognize that methodology already, but this is true leadership school. You're not going to have a bunch of cheerleaders and secure ways of doing things. Like, people are not going to be around you in the physical and saying, "Go, Todd," you know, each and every day. No, this, once again, it's the internal sense of motivation and resilience and drive. Like, this is absent all dependency, because once again, the leadership role, you have to know how to connect with the tools within. You have to know how to operate with the force. You have to know how to use the force, and everything is within. So this is what's taking place. We're learning how to use the force. It's just that this force is outside of the logical sets of things that we've used based on dependency within the old reality. Yes, of course, it's all unified, and the people, places, and resources will be presented to you naturally. Yes, you have to be a receiver as well as a giver. You have to receive as well as you give. Sometimes people are going to present to you experiences or resources or a helping hand, and you have to be balanced and humble enough and open enough to accept their help. Like, hey, I do deserve help. I am attempting to heal and help the planet. But and things will be presented, and people will be presented in ways to assist me in doing that I might not necessarily be consciously aware of. But as a humble soul and recognizing reflections, we're open to this energy. We're open to this assistance.
Yeah, right on, man. That's a great that was a great wrap right there, because you know, the universe is gifting us, man. And it could be me saying, "Hey, let me offer my, one of the things that I can do well, so you don't have to do it," or vice versa. But the universe has given us these gifts, and man, I know I can speak for everybody because we had a hard time accepting. First of all, you don't want to be weak. This is old stuff, right? But I mean. And then just because of the fact that, which is kind of like a microcosm of this whole new energy, this new lifestyle you're talking about, you don't know what it feels like.
No.
So say yes, right? Last night we laid down and did our normal thing, and after it got quiet, I started having all these sensations. It wasn't words and it wasn't images. It was these sensations. And there was like a wave, though. There was like a wave going over me, passing this and what. And I just said, "Hey, thank you." I don't need him to know anything else. Just thank you. I surrender.
This is, but I appreciate it.
That's right, because it's for me, right?
Hey,
I want to just take about 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Go figure that, right? I want to take 3 minutes and 33 seconds and share what's my favorite video, let me put it that way, of Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle, because I am a rah-rah guy, and I love this tune. So you guys enjoy this with me for the next 3 minutes and 33 seconds. It's called Blast Off, and I know LaBelle's heard this about a million times, but I'm going to play it for you real quick, and we'll be right back.
Yes, sir. That's our music, so if you like it, it's holler. It's nothing. Peace.
Work is gone. Work is gone already. We love the children.
Yeah. I don't know why you thought I was asleep. Yeah. Go ahead, Kami. Check 'em. Yeah. Let's do it. 144,000 on the ground. Salute the fleet. But the blast off, homie. Hey. Let's go. Dipping through the astral belt like sauce. On another level, Ella like a rebel renegade. Down my flavor, you can flip it so amazing, man. Yeah. It'll been a pill to make them live it. The vanilla hadn't moved in millennia. Familiar with flipping in the mother loving building when we building full of chipping, son. Look, I got greens, beans, chicken, turkeys, old raps with so much magic. Harry Potter, call me daddy. Yeah. God dump the grade, all in your face, all on the base, all in the place. Holla man, this command fleet like close the blast doors, you about to blast off, man. Close the blast doors, you about to blast off, man. Close the blast doors, you about to blast off, man. About to blast off. Close the blast doors, you about to... Come on. Yo, many millennia I've been in my tune, keeping cool on my mum raw. Summer solstice, rise, fly plus thunder. Rain while the sun's out, rain while the sun's out. Yeah. They dance with a honk in the gold blue hairdress, rose petal juice in my chalice, me the lamp is. Take me a sip for I really get the rapping, yo. Come on, baby. Really get it pop up for the free peep. How we get busy in the deep, so deep that the underwear can really still worry about what it's gonna be. Yeah. We got the whole thing on quarantine. Going harder than the motherfucker, no salute the colors when we come through. Too cool, doing what we do, boo. Yeah. Them speakers on the roof. Butter on them brothers, yo. That's a Betty Crocker Figaro. They call me Donna Sport Angelo. Light work animal. Shine so bright, the dark know not to run up on me, yo. Blast off, but the blast off, homie. Hold the blast off, but the blast off, homie. But the blast off, homie. Lord, but the blast off on. Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Sorry, I got. Sorry about that.
So good.
And I love the. I'm really big into adding as many frequencies, to an expression as possible. There's so many, in that early stuff, or that phase of your music, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the unity consciousness in the visuals, eating together, walking the streets together. And I got to say, my favorite line in all the stuff that you've done is, I know you thought I was asleep. The first time I heard that song, man.
Come on, baby. You know what I mean?
See, I love the expressions that you collaborate with and do individually, because it is uplifting. And I think, sometimes, because of the conditioning we have, we get caught up in, it's a fight, or we gotta disclose this. I'm not saying we don't, but I just have this vision, right? Like of that video. And instead of having a march, to bring awareness to this or that, you just got a bunch of people just doing, village people, man, down the street, just all colors, all cultures, and just jamming and just living, man, living and loving large, in this extraordinary universe. And that's the kind of vibe I like. So, I'm a big fan.
When they turn the lights off, shine brighter. Just go brilliant on them. Once again, this is our experience. We are the creator here, shining this light. And yeah, there's a lot of distortions and people attempting to find a sense of balance and grounding, and attempting to logically make sense out of everything. And when you logically try to make sense out of everything, of course, that kind of caters to a sense of being demoralized because we don't see the point. It's like, well, this doesn't make sense. And no, love does not make sense. It's beyond logic. Love does not make sense at all. You have to have the other information, the experience. And when I say other information, we're talking about light. We're talking about awareness. You have to have a broader spectrum of view in order to see the entirety of the picture. And the entirety of the picture is including the reality that no one's a victim here. We're all experiencing our own design, and the things that are being presented as catalysts of us consciously recognizing our own glory, our own ability to shine bright and to be uplifting, to be compassionate and empathetic versus sympathetic and projecting a bunch of pity and they're unawakened and there's no hope and so on. No, just be the example.
Yeah,
just
man.
shine your light, baby.
Yeah, man. The child within us, man. We did enough work on the inner child. Let it come out, you know.
Come on, man.
I spend most of my time off camera being the inner child, man. Morgan will tell you. I drive her crazy.
Absolutely. I spend most of my time on cameras.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Mask and Glom for filming that, and
Absolutely.
all the crew, man, all the crew, Corey and Amon and everybody else.
Absolutely.
You know, I want to ask you, you know, I always like to try to, for myself, try to bring things down to the human aspect. I have so much respect for all of us for showing up. And that's why I say, you know, hashtag number 2, Soulogy is the human is the hero. But, you know, with your experience and, you know, both, you know, non-physical and physical, let's just put it that way. What would you say at this point? Because it's a different question today than it was when I met you and we did the first show. And I probably asked the same question. In fact, I know I did. But like, you know, what can we do from an individual standpoint that best serves us, equally our brothers and sisters, and equally the universe as we move forward?
So the greatest service that a soul can do in this spectrum of existence, that's the greatest service the soul can do, is to heal themselves. Heal yourself. Be honest with yourself. Take personal responsibility. This is the greatest service that we can do for life. We help everybody when we heal ourselves. We help everybody. The entirety of existence is served when we honor our authenticity, when we take personal responsibility and accountability, and we recognize ourselves as one with the whole. This is the greatest service we possibly can do.
Yeah.
That's
I gotta ask you.
Law.
Yeah.
Because once again, we are the foundation of existence. We are source. Inside, then outside. We want to see joy and beauty and respect and honor and compassion and empathy amongst all creation. That's internal work. Inside, then outside.
Yeah. Yeah, right on. Right on. I love what Ike said the other day. He says, when people ask me who I am, I just say, I am everything that was, is, and will be in all moments, you know.
Absolutely.
And you know, to hear somebody like that say that, you know, it really is always a simple, profound truth. They don't actually have to have all these words, although we need them as we work our way through this. But it always really comes down to these simple, profound truths. And to me, you know, I've always felt that obviously the healing, the inner work, the shadow work, the zero pointing is very important because it is exactly what you're talking about. But sometimes, man, the best defense is a great offense, and just, you know, it's that spirit of living and loving large in an extraordinary universe that we share together. I got to ask you this too, because of your because of your journey, you know, the evolution of your journey that you've shared very openly. Your connection to our galactic aspects, however you want to put that, star family. Over the last few weeks, one of the reasons I love doing this show is because it seems to carry the beat, you know, of the vibration of the evolution that we're all sharing somehow comes through. At least it does for me. And over the last few weeks, there's been some talk, and I've had some experiences as well. There's been a stronger galactic presence. And I know we're everything and all things. The galactic seem to be like right next to us, shoulder to shoulder, or the galactic consciousness, or however you want to put that. Has there been an increase in that for you? I mean, I know you've been very connected over the years, but has there been more of a presence stepping in lately?
Put it this way. All the steps that were necessary for humanity to get to this point was all based on grounding. And the community, the core base of the community, I'm talking about second and third waivers, are pretty much grounded in the fact that we're on this expanded path of experience where things that are beyond logical comprehension are present. This is a general understanding of the awakening movement that we all observe. This was a benchmark for the whole. This was a benchmark that was necessary for higher aspects and greater ideas of expansion to be presented more and more often. I was instructed to focus the entirety of the creative expressions that I'm responsible for on the grounding work of just recognizing oneself and accepting oneself, where we can actually begin to connect and become more interdependent, all based on the individual's willingness to take personal responsibility. That's the nature of the awakening light worker starseed community in the first place. We have to basically learn how to take personal responsibility before we're able to coexist, co-create, and become interdependent. Independence before interdependence. That what was necessary. We've reached that. Being that we've reached that benchmark, I've been given the tools to revisit and expand upon the nature of who we are, of the angelic realms, of the Galactic Council, of the Galactic Federation of Light. I'm able to share more details in who I am as Commander Ashtar Incarnate, being from the Sirius Star Nation and having access to a lot of the information having to do with the Elohim and the nature of the council and how this observation and assistance is working alongside the Earth allies and all the things that are taking place on all these different spectrums of existence. I'm beginning to be able to share more of that information. It's just that prior to that, my instructions were based on being able to embrace the body, embrace the individual, and come to a point of accepting self and be able to embrace a sense of personal responsibility. Now we're on the cusp of this grand awakening where we can actually utilize the tools of grounding that we've been embracing the entire time, right? We're able to kind of be that grounded sense of presence or pillar of life for our friends, our families, and our loved ones, right? It's just that now the galactic aspects and things that are outside of the parameter of comprehension, logical comprehension for humanity, will start to come into the picture. One of those things having to do with the Space Force collective, those aspects of your experiences, that's when we'll start to be, or at least as a species, we'll start to introduce things that have everything to do with the galactic sphere of existence. And of course, as open, conscious souls of wisdom, we're receptive to that level of information from a place of objectivity and not rejection, because before we spoke of it, and of course there's naysayers and people that had that kind of resistance, and naturally, but this is where it was like, okay, let's just introduce that and then come back to the bare essentials. Let's go back to grounding work, accepting self, and doing the work having to do with the self. And once we reach the benchmark of a general understanding of that, and we're on the cusp of actually having to use those tools, then we can start reintroducing some of the information that surrounds us becoming galactic citizens once again.
Yeah, right.
And this is where we are once again. And once again, congratulations amongst Earth humanity, the awakened conscious community, for everybody coming to a general understanding of the fluctuations of the hologram.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Right
on, man. It's always an honor to collaborate with you. And I really had mentioned it earlier, but we can talk more soon. But Morgan just told me it's snowing over here. So I gotta go see that. But I really enjoy collaborating with you. I've always known for 5 or 6 years since the first experiences in the ethers, primarily, because I know on a physical level I was probably not making much sense 5 or 6 years ago when I'd write to you. But yeah, it's all coming together, and I really feel like we'll collaborate together, and I want to, because I really feel like that it's a multifaceted human that has come into the fold. you know we knew, or we came into the information or the understanding that we were multidimensional, but it's now, as you were talking about earlier, you first embody it, and then you start to be able to open up with it. But your expressions are multifaceted, multi-frequency, and I want to do everything that I can to support that, and collaborate a little bit as well.
Absolutely, myself as well. Once again, we've been given great gifts to do great work, and operate as stewards of this new wave of way of being, which is an honor for all of us. So let's take baby steps and be gentle with ourselves, which is extremely important. I wanted to say that earlier. We all have to be willing to get dirty.
Yeah.
We got to get dirty.
That's right.
And this involves the emotional body. We got to allow ourselves to fall into those distortions and feel, because we're still attempting to establish a stable sense of self, a foundational presence that's unshakable. It's just that in order to experience that and truly have that, it's an integrated experience, and we have to be light and open with ourselves and allow ourselves to be children at play in the sandbox. And life is not, once again, roses and butterflies all the time, but we're attempting, we are unfolding a true sustainable sense of awakened presence and true self-mastery. And in order for that to take place, we have to embrace our authenticity. We have to allow the catalysts and opportunities for us to continue to forgive our place. And that all involves us being able to hit our heads every now and then and fall down and get tired and trip over and lose confidence and all of those things. All of this stuff are catalysts of us developing the strength of our own forgiveness, of our own compassion, of our own unconditional love. That every time you lose yourself and you return, you strengthen your ability to exhibit compassion, exhibit unconditional love and affection for yourself. So accept the lessons, get dirty, allow yourself to fall, but get up again each and every day.
Right on, man. Right on. I have to borrow a couple of more Universal Brothers and Sister Circle quotes.
Yeah.
It's our work. And I think
it's our work.
And then it's for the children.
Come on, baby.
The energetics of the statement, it's for the children. Like the children is all of us.
Definitely.
I'm going to close it out with another one of my favorite tunes. And I will, so you guys hang around, listen to this one. It's also a great visual. You get to see Lavelle with the white wig on.
Man.
It's a great video. But listen, you guys, stick around for this one and be looking for more Universal Brothers and Sisters Circle and Lavelle on the Soulogy New Earth remix. It will be more and more accessible and seen on the different platforms. And I will reach out to you soon, Lavelle. And I just want to say again, thank you for your service to humanity. Thank you on a personal level for being a steady man, being there every day and showing up and doing the work and showing people like myself that this is a lifestyle, and also that it can be done. So I love you, man, and I'll reach out to you soon. Here's a tune, everybody. You might want to stick around for this one.
Too easy.
All right, peace out, bro.
When I close up, there we go. Chill, bro. I globbed that wasabi on it like that because I like that nose burn.
Trap heaven. A new era.